What's going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Sports family, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. This is your host, Joseph Hadid, TGIF. How's everybody doing out there? How's all the world out there, wherever you may be that's tuning in? Ladies and gentlemen, it is TGIF. It is October 6, 2023, Friday edition of Worldwide Sport Updates. And we finally finished a long week that just transpired this past week. And as far as we as adults and kids who go to school, and also adults who go to work, as we prepare for the weekend, of course, we close it out and we get ready for this upcoming weekend. How's everybody doing out there, though? Everybody's doing great. I know everybody's tuning into youtube.com, searching us on WWSUP by Joey, and grabbing their luxurious cup of coffee, I believe, to start off their amazing morning. We have some news for you, though. We have sports news for you. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Major League Baseball because the news is heating up with the playoffs getting underway. Let's get right to that. Many people have asked, ladies and gentlemen, what was the Tampa Bay Rays playoff attendance versus the Rangers? And you know that the Rays, ladies and gentlemen, hosted the Rangers at Tropicana Field. Let's get right to that. Tropicana Field, ladies and gentlemen, draws the smallest MLB postseason crowd since the year 1919. Has it really been that long? Yeah, it ended rather poorly for the Tampa Bay Rays, which I believe they got swept this past Wednesday. Again, they lost the home opener in the 2023 postseason, but it didn't exactly get off to a great start either. The playoff attendance was abysmal. Yeah. The team often struggles to get fans in seats during the regular season, and that disappointingly did not improve in the postseason either. The Tampa Bay Rays playoff attendance was the lowest for any team in a postseason game since the year 1919. It's been more than a century since a team's playoff game, not including the COVID-19 season, had so few spectators to watch the Texas Rangers come to town. Only 19,704 spectators filled the stands. And there was just no one there to watch the Rays play in the playoffs, which is startling for a home playoff game. The Rays also won 99 games during the season, so they were one of the baseball's best teams. And they fell short. They fell in the wild card round, unfortunately. What a disappointing season for the Tampa Bay Rays. Speaking of the Rays, do you know, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the Rays in our podcast during the beginning of the regular season of MLB. And ladies and gentlemen, they started off the season hot, right? What were they, like 13, 14, 15 and 0 before they started losing games? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say something about the Tampa Bay Rays franchise here. It's not always about how you start, but it's also about how you finish. Yeah, you started off hot in the first half of the regular season, but what happened to you in the second half of the regular season? After the All-Star break, ladies and gentlemen, the Rays, they fell apart. They lost pretty much all of their gas tank. And if I recall, after the All-Star break, when the Rays were playing the Phillies, they did not look like themselves. None whatsoever. And the season in the second half for the Tampa Bay Rays just kept going, sinking. Like, pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say this, but almost like the Titanic split in half and it sunk, and pretty much the ship sunk. I mean, but they still finished with a perfect record, though. You know, in that division, they finished, 99 wins, 63 losses? But the Baltimore Orioles surpassed them in that division. So, I wonder what kind of moves they're gonna make in the offseason. This will be very interesting for the Tampa Bay Rays franchise. For things to come in the offseason for them, though. All right, let's shift over to some NBA news, ladies and gentlemen. Ime Udoka on the Rockets signing Fred VanVleet and not pursuing James Harden. Let's get right to that information. Houston Rockets coach Ime Udoka, ladies and gentlemen, former Boston Celtics head coach, by the way, confirmed that he wanted the team to pursue Fred VanVleet rather than James Harden in free agency. Udoka told ESPN's Zach Lowe that the preference was about ball dominance, or in VanVleet's case, the lack thereof. VanVleet will start at point guard, but he's also an excellent spot-up shooter and will allow the Rockets' young guards, Jalen Green and Amen Thompson, to make plays with the ball in their hands for this upcoming season. All right, let's shift over to some NFL news. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, speaking of the NFL, how many of you people are sick and tired of the subject of Taylor Swift? You all know who she is, right? She's a musical artist. You know, I think she's a 12-time Grammy Award winner. You know, I think a lot of people are kind of saying we're kind of a little bit tired of hearing about Taylor Swift. Now, many people are probably saying, you know, if I had a Taylor Swift in my life, I probably would be looking at my Instagram account and I would be having like about 9,000 followers, if that's the case. But anyway, you know, the news broke out. Everybody knows we are not blind here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we all know Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Taylor Swift are dating. And Taylor Swift has been attending those games that Travis Kelce has been playing, you know, on the NFL schedule against their opponents this season. So, but a lot of people are saying that we, you know, are getting really annoyed by Taylor Swift, and we need to move on from Taylor Swift. Yeah, but let's get right to it anyway. So Travis Kelce says the NFL is overdoing his connection with Taylor Swift. What do you folks think about that? Alright, Travis Kelce has admitted that NFL may be putting too much focus on the relationship between himself and Taylor Swift. You think? I mean, I'm not trying to be smart here, but, you know, a smart aleck. I mean, you know, but people question that. Swift has been in attendance to watch 2 of Kelce's games for the Kansas City Chiefs this season, as we just spoke about that subject. Although they have not confirmed they are in a romantic relationship. So they did not confirm that, but they did confirm that they are dating. Yeah, just to clarify that to all the people out there that are listening in. Everyone appears to benefit from the attention. The sale of Kelce's jerseys have surged. You all recall Travis Kelce's sale jerseys are skyrocketing the market and selling. And people are buying them, of course. The NFL's viewing figures among younger people have risen, and ads for Swift's new film have been broadcasting during games. But on the latest episode of the podcast, he hosts with his brother Jason Kelce, of course, of the Philadelphia Eagles center. New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce. The Chiefs star said he thinks the NFL needs to calm down. So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, folks, speaking of the subject, with the latest episode on their podcast, the new podcast that Jason Kelce, the center of the Philadelphia Eagles, and Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, they have a new podcast now called New Heights. And Travis Kelce spoke on that podcast that, again, their relationship between between himself and Taylor Swift, it's okay. It's okay to see, that Taylor Swift is in attendance when she goes to view Travis Kelce's games, and that she is sitting in the booth, especially with a live audience crowd. Sometimes it could be a sold-out crowd. But at the same time, Travis Kelce, ladies and gentlemen, he's making his voice heard and noticeable, and he's just putting it out there for NFL to take it easy a little bit, not to push it, push it so far that he's probably getting annoyed by it. So he doesn't want the relationship to get too over dramatic. I think the NFL is trying to make it dramatic, but he wants the NFL to just take it easy. That's the point we're trying to come across here. Yeah, so, but we'll continue to follow it, and we'll see how that relationship goes about, of course. All right, let's shift over to some NHL hockey news, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Couture's top potential landing spots amid Sharks NHL trade rumors. Logan Couture's days with the San Jose Sharks are seemingly numbered. Frank Cervelli of Daily Faceoff reported Tuesday that he believes Couture is a prime trade candidate this season after the Sharks move star defensive man Erik Karlsson to the Pittsburgh Penguins over the summer. With the Sharks seemingly far from contending for a Stanley Cup, the franchise could try to part ways with Couture for future assets that will accelerate a rebuild. Couture remains one of the top centers, in the NHL heading into his 15th season. He's coming off a 2022-2023 campaign in which he notched 27 goals and 40 assists for 67 points in 82 games on a San Jose team that struggled, finishing with 22-44-16 finish, I believe, last season. So their record was not all that great, and I think they missed the playoffs nonetheless. However, it's important to note that Couture has a modified no-trade clause and would need to approve a trade if any team is interested that isn't on his list. Additionally, he has 4 more seasons on a contract worth $8 million annually, which won't be easy for most teams to fit under the salary cap. Alright, let's shift over back to some more Major League Baseball news as the playoffs are really heating up, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak. And we shift over to the National League Division Series and the American League Division Series. But before we get to that, we need to talk about the Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins, ladies and gentlemen, they advanced with a stellar pitching and a huge pickoff to meet the Astros. Entering the postseason, the prospect of a run deeper into October might have seemed unfathomable to a fan base that knew only playoff heartbreak for the better part of 2 decades. But the Twins finally shook off the weight of history on Tuesday. So why not these Twins? Why not this group? You all might probably ask and are wondering. They're the ones who broke the losing streak, and they're finally the team with the pitchers who could finish the job. For the first time since the year 2002, the Twins are moving on in the postseason, following their 2-0 victory win over the Blue Jays on Wednesday, in front of a sellout crowd of 38,518 at Target Field. They secured a two-game sweep, of the best of 3 wildcard series and set up a matchup in the division series against the American League West champion Astros, starting this upcoming Saturday, which I believe is tomorrow, at Minute Maid Park. So with that being said, folks, on Wednesday, the wildcard series wrapped up, and 2 home teams and 2 road teams completed the sweep. The Phillies swept. The Twins, they also swept. The Rangers swept. And also the Diamondbacks swept. The Diamondbacks, they beat the Milwaukee Brewers in a clean sweep. The Philadelphia Phillies, they beat the Miami Marlins in a clean sweep. The Rangers, they defeated the Tampa Bay Rays in a clean sweep. And the Minnesota Twins defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in a complete sweep. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get to talking about the sweeps, of course, from the 4th participants in the wild card round, ladies and gentlemen, one of the wild card round that really shocked me the most was the Toronto Blue Jays. I was really shocked. I thought this team was going to go a little bit further past the wild card and maybe go to the championship round, maybe possibly go to the World Series, but it was very, very shocking that the Blue Jays did not put up a fight against the Minnesota Twins. That was very shocking for me. But the Blue Jays have a lot of work to do with this upcoming offseason, that's for sure. But as far as the matchup is concerned between the Minnesota Twins and the defending World Series champions, the Houston Astros, this one on Saturday is definitely going to be a very interesting matchup. So, you know what the old saying goes, ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the sweep. You know, from the 4 participants in the wild card round series. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all witnessed what transpired, right, this past week in the wild card round. Let's get right to that. Major League Baseball playoffs wild card, ladies and gentlemen. This past week, the Phillies, Diamondbacks, Twins, Rangers, ladies and gentlemen, again, they all advanced with a clean sweep. How about that, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, of course, the brooms were busy. The Philadelphia Phillies closed out the wild card round with a rousing 7-1 win over the Miami Marlins for the 4th sweep in 4 2023 wild card series. The win secured a 2-0 series victory for the Philadelphia Phillies and ended Miami's season. A pair of home runs electrified the Philadelphia home crowd. JT Realmuto hit a solo shot in the 4th to extend the Phillies' lead to 3-0. And then Bryson Stott blew things open with a grand slam in the 6th. And Aaron Nola, meanwhile, threw 7 shutout innings for the win. So, pretty amazing stuff, ladies and gentlemen, as the Philadelphia Phillies prepare for the Atlanta Braves. That one's going to be an interesting matchup, too. And also, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies, that is a rematch from the 2022 National League Division Series. And they meet again for the 2023 National League Division Series. So, will the Phillies' Cinderella story continue? Because, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia Phillies have unfinished business to take care of. And that is to get a ring and to become World Series champions. Will they fulfill that promise and get the ultimate glory? We'll keep you up to date on that, nonetheless. All right. And that's for sure, though. You know, we'll keep you up to date. We'll stay on top of it. That's what Worldwide Sport Updates is all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift over to some cricket news. Where's the crowd? In quotes. Empty stands in the Cricket World Cup 2023 opener leave social media stunned. Let's get right to that information. The Cricket World Cup 2023, ladies and gentlemen, kicked off at the Narrandera, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot pronounce that. Sorry for mispronouncing that. Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmed Abed. Sorry for mispronouncing that too. On Thursday, with defending champions England facing New Zealand in a repeat of the 2019 final. A lot of excitement surrounded the competition, and the organizers were all ready for a full house at the venue. However, the social media was left stunned by the lack of crowd for the tournament opener, as barely 1/4 of the venue was filled. Users took to social media to post pictures of the empty stands and wondered why the crowd was not present despite massive ticket sales ahead of the Cricket World Cup 2023. England women's cricket team star Danielle Watt also expressed her disappointment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, stay blessed. Take care of each other. Have yourself a great weekend. And hit the like button, subscribe, share it out, hit the bell notification button for all your notifications. And yeah, stay classy, stay safe, world. Again, this is Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. This is your host, Joseph Hadid, signing off. Take care of each other, sports family. Have yourself a great weekend. We will interact next Friday on the Recorded Podcast. Take care and look out for each other, sports family. Bye-bye for now.